anybody a moment to come in, considering how late it is. I don't know if anyone will even be here, but we'll see. Last time I did have 7 people. So before that, I'm just going to talk about this eclipse tonight. I thought it was the longest eclipse of the last century, but it turns out that this is supposedly like the longest eclipse over the last like 580 years or something, they said. And so I did bring this thing. It's called it's a spotting scope. It's just a bag, but it's in there. And it's not used for astronomy, it's used for photography, and you can use it to spot a sniper as well. It'd be a spotter for a sniper. But I did take a good look at that thing, and there's a good chance, even with this heavy fog, that I will be able to see it. And I am intrigued by it, regardless of the fake element that I presume is there. So something that's 3 hours long is definitely interesting, whether it's real or not. So all right. Yeah, nobody here yet. I don't know. I do have quite a bit of followers in the West. Colorado, Arizona, California. I do know that. I have quite a few. Dude, I even have a guy that lives in my own town, like a few minutes away from me. I keep wanting to hang out with him, and I'm like, I haven't hung out with him yet for some reason. We basically live down the street from each other. Somehow he found me. Running Deer or something is his name. And I'm like, dude, we gotta hang out. We're both kind of in a similar level. But I do know he emailed me, and I'm trying to check, trying to check. Should probably check the emails. Anyway, oh my God, I really need to fix my brain right now. Somebody is here. If somebody is here, could you announce yourself, please? It does say that I could see the chat. Yeah, it does say that it's available, so that's cool. Right on. So what do I mean by the spiritual implications of relationships? What I mean is that, like, it always goes back to that same question of predestination and free will, right? So when you're stumbling upon certain situations in life and encounter certain people, and you often wonder to yourself, is this really an accident that I encountered this individual at this particular time? If you really reflect on your life, just deeply meditate on, different people that were in your life, whether those experiences were quote unquote good or bad. Oh, hey, Bowie, we're dealing with snow and cloudy skies where I'm at. No blood beaver moon for me. My bad. I don't know if you could tell, but it's super foggy over here, but I can see the moon, and I also have that spotting scope. I just that has a really gnarly zoom, so I was able to see it pretty clearly, even though it's not officially a telescope. It operates similar. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I kind of figured I came on too late. Last time there was there were 7 people here, and it was much earlier in the day. But I had stuff to do, so it's all good. Yeah. So let me get back to what I was saying. So you reflect back on your life and you wonder to yourself, do those people come around by accident? I'm almost starting to think that every single person I encounter is there for a reason. Um, and that's the ultimate question. Like, what, how much of it is programmed? Like, okay, there is a basic outline. I think maybe there's like a basic blueprint for your life, maybe, right? So you have like this blueprint, but then you, as the person living the life, you are the architect who actually builds the actual building, right? But when you incarnate, all you have with yourself is a blueprint. I think that's kind of a good way of looking at it. But then again, it's like there's all these like subtleties and weirdness, like in like relationships between partners, for example. Um, you have a lot of really, awful situations where there's a lot of abuse and a lot of, divorce and, heartbreaking things taking place. And at what point is that part of the blueprint of your life? And is there a line that is crossed from what is initially, was supposed to be your learned program, so to speak, right? Like, is there a point where, the abuse could reach to a certain level that it actually damages your soul rather than helps your soul grow? And, I swear I could have even put myself in that category at times, where I swear I almost felt like my own soul was about damaged and I was in a deep, dark black hole myself. But for the most part, in many ways, I did pull out of it, right? So you think that, at the moment, it can't get any worse. But then once you pull out of it, and then a few years later, and you reflect back on what happened, you realize that, wow, you know what? My soul really grew from that. And I think that's what's important. And it definitely is not a justification or for, the awful occurrences or, narcissistic abuse type situations whatsoever. It's not, it doesn't justify any of that stuff whatsoever, or psychopathy or things people do to each other, the subtle manipulation, that takes place, and the strange wording of things. And I just think relationships have been really damaged spiritually. I think they're a lot of relationships should be in a much better place than they are, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I don't know. Okay, somebody said something in the chat. So many anomalies in the skies lately. Yeah, I mean, for me, the entire sky is an anomaly. So there's no such thing as like a single thing that makes sense, because none of it makes sense to me. When I look up there, even this fog is weird. Like, it's all just one bizarre festival of, it's like we were shifted over to Circus Earth, Oh, wow, look at that. Got 4 people. The other people want to say hello? Introduce yourselves, say hi. We're talking about, self-created problems, if we do in fact create our own reality. Yeah, it is self-created, and then, it's selfishness as well. And we're all guilty of this to a certain degree, for sure. Oh, it's Dan Beck. Speaking of people. Okay, what the hell? Okay. It said I just got booted off for whatever reason, so my bad about that. But yeah, I was just talking about my locals, here, and you're one of them, Dan. And there's a guy that lives in Carlsbad too that I've been wanting to hang out with for the longest time. So yeah, Dan, we're talking about the complexity of relationships, and how there's always like like, okay, let's put it this way. There's a reason why most people don't find their soulmates, I think, right? Is because how are you going to grow spiritually if you have your soulmate, right? You got your everything is just like fused into one ever flowing, like idealistic, perfection between each other, right? But hold on. Because I guess the point is to learn and grow otherwise, or what do you think the point is? You still there, Dan? Just back on, it's all good. So sorry, I'm just trying to do something right here. So yeah, why do we always seem to attract like really strange situations and people? I've just been wondering about, like, how much of that is programmed or the blueprint of our life, before we incarnate, and how much of that is like our so-called choice, right? I mean, okay, what did you say? Monogamy was from who's Bobo? Yeah, two people living one life is challenging. Yeah. Yeah, there's always like this endless balancing act, um, that, you have to try to. It's definitely a challenge, right? It's a challenge, and it's a spiritual challenge, and it's spiritually very important. And not just, those type of relationships, but all kinds of relationships. And I think Bowie Buckus is right, is that we create a lot of our own problems. I mean, that is actually totally true. Um, and the human species is such that, if you don't have any problems, you're gonna get so bored you're just gonna create some on your own. You know what? That's funny because that's what my dad always told me. And I think that's kind of funny and sad. That live stream's going all weird and stuff. Two people living one life is challenging. Yeah, I think I did this one too late. Got to do the live streams a bit earlier, since most of the people are far away. I think the majority of them are the East Coast and Australia and stuff. So East Coast time, yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna look at this 3-hour long eclipse, and if for whatever reason Gary is here, what? I am surprised that Gary is here. Wow, thank you for showing up. Thank you, man. Free will is an illusion. I'm kidding, though. Yeah. But hey, was it your free will that you just said that you're kidding? Are you sure that was your free will? Or was that already programmed into you? Yeah, La Palma. Yeah, there was a big earthquake there, magnitude 5 point something, a few hours ago. And of course, our buddy Bushcraft Bear, right? Hey, I'm Bushcraft Bear coming to you from La Palma, right? Always excited about that volcano. I mean, that guy is just such a trip. I can't get over his, like, almost like acting like demeanor. Like, it's just so strange. And I just started recently actually following him, like actually paying attention to what he says. Hi, Dan. Where's Dan number one? Wait, Dan number two? Well, wait, who's Dan number one if I'm Dan number two? You're confusing me, Gary. This live stream is kind of since we got Dan and Gary here, it's kind of starting to sound more like a phone call, which I'm okay with. So I said hi to you first. You did? If you did, I didn't see it. All right, so what do you guys think of relationships and the people that we encounter throughout life? Do you think that there's any like random element to it at all? Or do you think like it is part of the blueprint of our incarnation that we meet this specific person and regardless of whether it ends up being a super abusive relationship or a super toxic relationship, and this doesn't necessarily include partners, I'm talking about freaking even bosses or whatever. I'm just curious, like, are these chance encounters or are they programmed encounters? Scroll up. Yeah, I did scroll up, Gary. I honestly still don't see, but it's all right. You know what? I probably am Dan number 2 since I am most likely a clone, or I'm the original and then there's my clone somewhere else. So there's that, but I'm sure there's many Dans. Dan 2, Dan 3, Dan 5. Okay, I definitely think we shifted realms or realities at some point between 2012 and 2016. That is my own time frame. Yeah, that is what everybody thinks, and everybody is right, honestly. Why does the chat keep disappearing? No idea how or why, but we're in a bizarro Earth. I mean, bizarro is an understatement. You can't come up with this in like the most ridiculous fiction movie. What we're going through in real life, nobody can make a movie this stupid. When you look up at this moon and this programmed eclipse we're about to see, when you have people backstage behind the scenes going, all right, it's November 19th, time to put on the eclipse. By people, I mean aliens. I don't know, but that's literally what it feels like a literal Truman Show is what it feels like. So when I'm just discussing, relationships and programs, this place that we shifted into is definitely a program. Like there is nothing random here, like nothing. Like the morning you wake up to the morning you go to sleep, it's all like just one very detailed, intricate, like AI program. That's what it feels like, at least. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but just looking up at the moon, make sure there's a lot of fog up there. So I want to make sure I'll still be able to see it. The eclipse is going to start at 10 o'clock. All right, you guys are seeing something here. From our level, it appears yeah. Totally agree. Even on the old Earth, Gary, I think that was the case. Where, in the realm of the absolute, in the absolute zero, yes, of course, you have all possibilities collapsing into one singularity. So it's always an illusion, regardless of whether you're in an AI Earth or an organic Earth, it's ultimately always an illusion. And I'm sorry for walking around all over the damn place. I'm kind of in this like energetic mood today. It's probably this fake moon or something. I don't know. And I'm like, just went out for this long jog and I'm like, just like driving around like crazy. I'm like, man, I'm like full of energy today. So, Texas Danny is here. All right. That's the first time I see you in the what do you call this? A live stream. All right. Thank you for joining Truman Show for Real. And Gary says, I've been stuck in entrainment where you physically feel the illusion lift and it's like your movements are pushed by iron bands. That is super interesting. But what do you mean by entrainment though? Like training for incarnations, or like, I'm just trying to figure out. But before you even say anything else, guys, the people that are here, looks like 8 people. All right. Check out Gary Warmerdam's channel. Really good stuff. He does really good interviews, especially on Sundays. And I just met him in person a couple of months ago, and that was fun, wasn't it? Just give me a Angel is here. Oh my God, everybody's here. Oh man, I hope I didn't miss much. Well, I've been on for 21 minutes, but the majority of the time I'm like just blabbering incoherently. So no, I don't think you missed much. Th- Thoughts, movements, actions along with everyone around you. It's is all forced as being physically in the 3D movement. Yeah, it's all forced. It's condensed. It's kind of like, how that theory of, cities looking like circuit boards. And, we are basically like the electrons and protons moving within that circuit board to power that city, right? So we have to be programmed to a certain degree. We cannot be, if we deviate too far from, what we think of as free will, there is always something that attempts to push us back towards something more. I don't know what the right word is, but I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. That's entrainment. Okay, yeah, that's a good explanation. Thank you. Angel says, "Lol, yay." Yeah, I'm just waiting for this eclipse, Angel, and I have my spotting scope that I'm going to look at and hope the fog doesn't get too bad. And I don't know if I'm going to spend all 3 hours looking at it, but mental entrainment is not fun. I don't recommend that ride. Yeah. Just a second, guys. I just got to do this one thingy here. Thingy is done. Thingy complete. All right. Dimensions beyond spiritual, almost to empirical data. Isn't it 2 hours? No. The eclipse, as far as I know, is 3 hours, and supposedly it's the longest eclipse that we've seen for 580 years. And you guys know what I feel about these eclipses. They resemble nothing to a lunar eclipse that is stuck in the memory of my mind until the day I died when I was 11 years old. And there was a massive, not lunar, I'm sorry, it was a solar eclipse. I remember in Tucson, Arizona, and it was my school. We all went out, like the entire school went out to go see it. And the way it looked was with that bright golden sun and with the real moon, it was just absolutely magical. It was absolutely tremendous to look at. And then I see these eclipses, and it's just not the same. I mean, it's just not, I don't know what else to say. It's just not the same. Okay, it means nothing, isn't it? Yeah, it means nothing to me. Yeah, probably not. 10 people. Oh my God. Wow, we got ourselves a party here. Jeez. Stop disappearing, chat. Where's Dina? She can't hide anymore now that we hung out. I don't know. Dina's at home and stuff. Like, I'm here at work and she's at home. So, I mean, that's basically it. That's where Dina is. Okay. Wow. I'm really surprised and happy that Gary joined. Thank you. Oh, and my friend Matt is here. You guys know Matt from the pictures I shared of his truck with that funny I can't say it on YouTube. Jeez, it has to do with Epstein, but never mind. That's yeah. You think I'm not gonna recognize you, Gardner? Everybody's here. It's one big party. Can we talk trash on Matt? Absolutely. Please, yeah. Matt loves trash talking. That's his thing. That's all we do when we hang out, right, Matt? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan Beck did meet Matt. I forgot you did meet him. Yeah. Um, yeah, he is cool, isn't he? And so did Nigel. Nigel met Matt as well. And I don't see him here though. Usually he is, like in every live stream I've done. I have your hat. Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan. We got to get that hat back. We all got burned by the sun, the LED sun. Yes, we did. Well, that's what it does every day. Just microwaves you to death. Um, yeah, no, the chat's been open for like the last three live streams, Angel. And the only reason for that is because I put this as not suitable for kids or whatever. We used to have an eclipse like once every 100 years. Now it's once a month. That is exactly it. That is exactly the problem here. I mean, that's why in 1999, that was this massive event. I mean, the entire school, like everybody was there. The whole city of Tucson shut down to see this eclipse, right? And here we are, like now, and like every 2 years or every year, even, we have a solar eclipse. And like 3 or 4 lunar eclipses a year, it just makes no sense. I mean, they were on the old Earth, I would say on average, we saw a solar eclipse, I'm going to say about every 6 years, and a lunar eclipse like one every 2 years. Would you say that's about right, Bowie Buckets? If you could reply when you can. And Matt is not Mandela affected, so he's not going to know what we're talking about. He's just going to assume we need to be in a psychiatric hospital, but that's okay, Matt. You still love us, don't you? It's the same with the weather. They make a big deal over nothing. The same with the weather. Wait, what context are you saying that in? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand. Gardner says yes. All right, man. Wow, I can't believe I've been going for almost 30 minutes. How long should we keep going? We're already like way off topic now. I'm not even talking about relationships anymore. It was never made news or important. No, that's true. Yeah. Or, it could have been that we didn't hear about it as much too, because, the lack of technology and stuff. Weather's so wacky lately, went through 3 seasons in like a week. It really has over here. It really has. And the nights too, like this cold chill with this fog, and then the blasting sun during the day. It's just crazy. It's weird. Um, it snowed tonight. Well, yeah, I mean, you're in Canada, right, Angel? So I'm not particularly shocked that it snowed in Canada. I'm just weather's so wacky, yeah. But yeah, so let me just say one more thing on topic on the border with Detroit. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Like in Windsor, Ontario or something. Um, why did you rebrand again? Are you stop disappearing on me live chat? Why did you rebrand again? Are you trying to cover up your covert data collecting? Yes, yes, I'm a spy. I am a super secret spy. You don't even know. I work in the super secret lab. Look at that. Man, you guys don't even know what's up. Yeah. Stay warm and whiskey helps. Yeah, it does. So, okay, here's the question. Okay, let's go for a few more minutes. And here's the question. So, have you guys ever been in a super toxic relationship? Whether that was with a partner, or it was a friend or whatever, I don't know, whatever it might be. It doesn't necessarily have to be a partner. And then after it was over with, did you feel like it degraded your soul, or did you feel like your soul grew from that experience? So with me, I have both scenarios that I think would be valid, where I've been in situations where I did feel like my soul persevered and grew over things, and other times there's just certain people that just denigrate and degrade you to a point where you feel like you're just knocked down no matter what. I, I don't think Aphrodite comes around here anymore, Dan. I don't think she likes me very much. Okay. It grew, but took a long time. Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Yes, I have only, oh my gosh. It's because I'm on a phone. That's why this chat keeps disappearing. Yes, I have only after time did I grew from. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that the interesting thing? That's what I said in the beginning of the podcast is like, you reflect like years later on a certain situation, right? Like when you're in that moment, when you're in that situation, you're like in this total state of distress and confusion, and you're hating every second of it. But then like 5 years later comes and you're like, wow. And you reflect back on that and you're like, I really grew from that situation. So maybe it was helpful to me in some way. And anger, yeah. Yes, I only have only one after been under narcissistic abuse majority of my life. Yeah, sorry to hear that. The data though, you talking our data data from Star Trek, that is. Can't internalize or project it. Yeah. My dad, my ex-wife. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, how we empaths are targets. Sorry to hear that, Dan. No, they are. Yeah, empaths are very much targets. I've kind of gotten over it, but yeah, I was, as growing up, I was very hypersensitive to energy, to people's moods, to situations where I would like really feel like everything on just like a super deep level, and every like minute thing would bother me, and like I would have to like sort of escape in a way, basically, because it was just overwhelming. And other people who are empaths can definitely understand that you just get really overwhelmed, especially by like things that are ultra negative, and then it rubs off on you, and then you become negative too. And I've been negative plenty of times. I mean, much of the time, like I'm not always a happy camper, as you guys know. All right. And bosses are etc. Bosses, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean by that. That's why I'm here, where I am working now. Who's here? Anybody? Nope. It's just me and my golf cart. No bosses to care about. Whatever. That's why I'm here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and your your forehead looks great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so lovely. I'm just gonna touch it. That's awesome. Thanks, Gary. All right. Anybody else have anything else to say? Why is the before I go? I'm just gonna wait here in a very awkward silence. I will give you 45 seconds in this ultra awkward silence. It was my view was cut off. Hey Angel, do you watch Gary's channel? You should. It's really good. Awkward silence. If it actually is a silence, I shouldn't be talking, right? Yeah, he does. I used to go on Gary's show like every Sunday, the Snail Show. And we had a good time, didn't we, Gary? Yes, we did. Fun times. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to head out, so yeah, I'll link it, Angel. I'll link it on Facebook, okay? Guys, let's listen. Yeah, I'll link you his channel on Facebook. All right. Have a good night, everyone. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. That's really awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.